Okay, so this is going to be another very simple, very short video. So all we're doing is just figuring out how many calories do you really need to eat in a day to reach your fitness goals, right? So the first question is, are you bulking or are you cutting, right? So it should be pretty simple. If you're skinny, you should be bulking. If you're fat, like above like 22, 23, 24% body fat, you probably should be cutting. And there's like this middle ground, right? Where if you're skinny fat, like maybe you're brown like me, and you're skinny fat, then you're asking like, what do I do? Do I bulk? Do I cut? Because I kind of want to do both. Because like I don't have much muscle, so I want to put on some muscle and like gain some size so I can fill out my shirt. But I also want to lose some fat around like my waist or like my maybe you have some arm fat as well. So or like man boobs. So it's kind of hard when you're skinny fat because you don't know what you want to do. I'll leave it pretty simple for you. A lot of people will tell you like some bullshit like main gain or recomp. Don't do that shit, right? If you're skinny fat, just lean bulk, all right? So the truth is about bulking, people have demonized bulking way too much now, especially like those science-based Greg Doucette type motherfuckers. They've like demonized bulking so much now. Like they pretend like if you eat like a 200 calorie surplus, you're like fucking balloon up to like 500 pounds in a week. So if you're skinny fat, just lean bulk, bro. You'll get out of skinny fat, I promise you. Okay? So now that's that. So now like that's settled, right? So you know whether you're bulking or you're cutting. Chances are you're probably not gaining or maintaining unless you're like already at an ideal physique and you just want to like be a bit better than that. That's the only situation I would recommend like you main gaining. Even as a beginner, I know people say as a beginner like you can recomp and you can main gain. I would still not recommend it because to me it's just a waste of your newbie gains to be recomping or main gaining. So you can always make more muscle on a bulk. That's just the truth. You can make muscle doing these other things, but just not as much. You won't be maximizing your muscle building potential. So now how do you calculate your calories based on these goals? So the first step is very simple. Just go on some basic ass like calorie calculator app. They're all gonna have like different answers for you. That's fine because this is not the end point. This is the starting point. So you need a weight scale at your house as well. So if you don't have one, just fucking buy one on Amazon. Your parents probably have one anyway. So go on this calculator, and one thing to do is do not overestimate how much activity you do. Just because you lift fucking 6 times a week does not make you very active, all right? This is mainly asking about your physical, like cardiovascular activity. So like how many steps are you getting? Like, are you running every day? Or like, are you doing sports? They're not asking about like weightlifting. Like a lot of gym bros will see like they lift like 4 or 5 times a week and they'll call themselves like very active. They're just asking about calorie burning exercise, like aerobic exercise. That's the word for it, right? So let's give an example. If you're walking 10,000 steps a day and you're playing a sport like a couple times a week, you're probably in the active zone. So if you're less than that, just put slightly active. If you're more than that, you can put very active if that's an option for you. So then you're gonna get like this number spat out at you, right? Just some random number. It's like very exact for some reason. This number is probably not your calorie needs, all right? This is probably not it. So what you're gonna have to do after you calculate this like maintenance calories, you have to get your weight scale, track your weight I was gonna say every morning, but it does not really matter as long as you track at the same time and same conditions every day. So like same time as in like, like maybe 8 a.m. For me, it's personally like 6:30 a.m. That's when I check my weight. And then same conditions means that you have to, like let me give an example. So like for me, it's before I drink any water. I recommend that for you too, because you don't really know how much water you're drinking unless you're like purposefully calculating how much water you're drinking. So it's better just to be completely dehydrated, use the bathroom, be fasted. These are probably the 3 best states to have a consistent weighing method, all right? So same time, same conditions, weigh yourself every day for I'd say at least 2 weeks while tracking this maintenance calories. And you're just gonna see how your weight is fluctuating from these calories, because chances are this is not your actual maintenance calories like this calculator might tell you. It's probably not, because people are different. You have different metabolism. This calculator is just like a cookie cutter tool for you to like get a starting point, then use that to like calibrate to your true set point. All right. So at least for 2 weeks, possibly a month, just track this, track your calories, track your weight, see the trends. In general, if you're gaining a pound, that means you're about in a surplus of about I think 3,500, right? So people might freak out now because like maybe one day you weigh 170 pounds, next day you weigh 172.4. This is not a big deal. This is just like normal weight fluctuation. Even if you're like in the same conditions, same time, you still have weight fluctuations. So it's more important to track the averages of every week. So like, let's say you're doing this for like 4 weeks, right? Track the average of every week and see how much weight is being gained and how much is being lost. Like let's say your maintenance is, according to the calculator, your maintenance is 2,800 calories. Then you see over these 4 weeks, you average a gain of 0.2 pounds. That probably means your calorie expenditure is lower than 2,800, your maintenance, right? So you have to multiply 0.2 times 3,500, which I'm not gonna do for you. You just do that in your head, bro. But that is how many calories you really need then, right? And then now you have your true maintenance calories that you found out yourself, right? So now it's just, what do I do to change this when I'm bulking or when I'm cutting? We'll start with bulking first because it's just simpler, and I'm bulking right now, bro. Like, this is a medium shirt. I look like I fucking disappeared in it. Like, I wear small shirts, I look pretty good, but like, this is a problem, bro. Like, in a medium shirt, like you can see in a medium shirt, I have like fucking disappear. Right? You can't even see anything, you know? So that's why I'm bulking. So we'll start with the bulking calories first. So there's 2 options really. There's a third option as well, but I'm not gonna talk about that because if you're doing that, you're an idiot. No offense to you. I mean, full offense to you. If you're dirty bulking, just wake up, bro. So there's 2 options. There's lean bulking and there is regular bulking. I would recommend most of you guys are probably gonna have to, I would recommend most of you guys would have to lean bulk, but it's based on your body fat percentage. So if you're very skinny, like let's say you're 120 pounds at like fucking 5'10", like you're very skinny, right? And maybe you're like 10%, 9% body fat. I would recommend you could like regular bulk here, but I think most of you guys are not at that level. So I would recommend you guys just lean bulk. So lean bulk just means you add about 200 to 300 calorie surplus on top of your maintenance. So let's start from the very beginning. Let's say your calculator said that your maintenance was 3,000. Then you tracked for a month, and then you realize that your true maintenance is like 2,700 because of weight fluctuations. That means your actual bulking calories are 2,900 to 3,000 calories for lean bulking. If you're regular bulking because you're extremely skinny, maybe you're malnourished, then it's 400, 500, maybe 600 calories max, but even that's not like something I'd recommend to you. I'd say just stick with the 400 to 500 calorie range if you are just regular bulking. So like if your maintenance you found out was 2,700 again, then you'd go to 31 or 3,200. So like I'll give myself as an example. I have a high metabolism, so most calculators for me are kind of bullshit. So like I put myself as like just active because, you know, I walk everywhere at university and I train 6 times a week and I do some boxing here and there. So I just put myself as just active, not very active, not slightly active, just active, right? So they said in order to maintain my weight, I had to eat 2,800 calories a day, which I tried, and I was losing weight. I was losing about a pound a week actually at 2,800 calories. And I realized my true maintenance is actually 3,300 calories. So for this bulk, I'm eating about 3,600 calories. It's a lean bulk, right? All right, so now for cutting. So in general, for cutting, you can safely lose about 1% of your body weight every week, maybe 1.5% of your body weight if you're like very fat, like fucking like TLC, like 1,000 pound sisters fat. But if you're just like fat, like you're just the average like American dude, then I would say like just about 1% of your body weight per week is like a safe goal, which would not like hurt your health, you know? So let's say you weigh, let's say something simple. Let's say you weigh 200 pounds, right? Then you can safely lose 2 pounds a week. And like I said in the beginning of this video, 1 pound of fat is 3,500 calories. So if you want to lose 2 pounds of fat a week, that's 7,000 calories you have to be in a deficit of in a week, which means, let me do the math, 1,000 calories deficit a day, right? So that means if your maintenance was calculated to be 2,800 in that day, based on like your calibration and you tracking your weight, you got 2,800 as your maintenance calories. Then subtract 1,000 from that, that is 1,800. So the first thing you might be thinking is, okay, that's like very little calories for me. That's like not much at all. I'm gonna be fucking starving, right? So this is where exercise comes into play. So like how much you're exercising and like your cardio, right? So what you could do instead of just eating, I mean, maybe you're just lazy and you just want to just eat 1,000 less calories. Most of you probably won't want to do that because it's gonna kind of suck regardless. So what you can do, you can split it. So you can do like a 500 calorie eating deficit. So you eat maybe 2,300 calories a day, right? Minus 500. And then you also do 500 calories worth of aerobic exercise, so cardio. Like maybe you walk on an incline, maybe you do some boxing, maybe you fucking bike, play a sport with your friends. Like there's things you can do that are fun and still burn calories, right? So you can do this. You can like, it's probably the best thing I recommend for you instead of just going like a straight 1,000 or big calorie deficit. Split it through exercise and through diet. So then you can still eat a solid amount of food and also you just get in some more exercise. And the benefit of doing exercise as well is that it'll benefit your heart health as well. So just eating 1,000 calories less a day is not going to like help your heart aside from the fact that you're losing fat, but doing actual aerobic activity will boost your heart health. So there's added benefits to just doing this like splitting method, right? So that's today's video on how to calculate your calories, whether you're bulking or cutting. If you found it useful, you can always comment, you can like, you can dislike if you got pissed off at me, and I'll see you tomorrow.